hope you're all doing well. Today I am going to be sharing an easy, high-protein vegan meal prep. This is the way I plan ahead of time, and it really helps me stay on track eating healthy throughout the week. I try to keep things very simple. I try to buy produce that is easy to chop and easy to cook, and also it's at a good price. So I try to buy things that fit my budget, and I also enjoy eating, and it also helps me stay on track with my fat loss goals. Before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, I am Nisha. I am a busy mom of two, and I am a fitness trainer. And this is the channel where I like to share my healthy, simple plant-based recipes, weight loss tips and tricks that have helped me on my journey. So if you are vegan and you are struggling to put on some muscle or just to feel energetic and lose some fat, then please stick around and subscribe to my channel. So today's meal prep is going to be very simple. I am going to be sharing how I prep all my veggies. I just chop them and I keep them in containers. And then I am also going to show you how I prep my protein. By prepping my protein in advance, it helps me stay on track with my daily protein goals. Also, protein really helps me feel satiated for far less calories. So if you know, and if you watched my previous two videos on YouTube, I am currently trying to lose a little bit of belly fat that I have accumulated over the past year. I'm just trying to cut down just a little bit so that I can go back to my maintenance, and eventually I will be going back to putting on some more muscle mass in the year. So in today's video, I will be sharing how I prep my seitan nuggets. Just a quick disclaimer, this is not my recipe. This is one of the recipes that I came across a while back from Fit Vegan Chef. I will link her channel below. I tried this recipe and I really liked the way the texture was, but I wasn't a big fan of the spices. So I really modified it according to my own preference and spices that I like. After playing around with so many different spices and variations, this is what I seem to be enjoying in this recipe. So I will be sharing how I prep my seitan nuggets. If you are gluten-free, unfortunately, this recipe will not work for you. However, I am able to tolerate gluten, so that is why I enjoy seitan nuggets, and they are one of the best source of vegan protein because they are super high in protein per gram and they're very low in calories and fat. So that is why I really enjoy adding some seitan nuggets on my daily meals to help me achieve my protein goals. So without any further ado, let's get into today's video. In order to utilize our time properly, we are going to begin by baking our seitan nuggets, and you can also bake your tofu in the oven at the same time as well if you don't have an air fryer. This entire meal prep is going to take you about 1 hour to hour and 15 minutes max. These are all the ingredients you're going to need to make seitan nuggets. I will leave all the details in the description box below. We are going to begin by measuring out our dry ingredients first. I highly recommend using a food scale to measure out all your ingredients. I'm using about 170 grams of vital wheat gluten flour. I got this flour from Amazon, and then I'm using some nutritional yeast, and then I am going to add all my spices and salt, and then I'm going to give it a good mix and keep this aside. And then we are going to add our lupini beans to a high-speed blender with some water and hot sauce. Again, you can switch out with any other hot sauce of your choice, or you can omit it if you don't like it spicy. But I like it very spicy, so this is a hot sauce I like to use. And then you're going to blend it really nicely until it's completely smooth. And then you are going to pour this mixture onto the dry ingredients and give it a good mix. I like using hand to knead this dough, as using hand works the best. You just want to be careful and not over knead this dough as it tends to get rubbery. You just want to incorporate everything until it comes together. and then you can break it into small chunks to form your nuggets. I am using a small toaster oven to bake these nuggets, but if you wish to speed up the process, you can use your bigger oven and cook this entire batch in one go. I cooked it in 2 small batches because my toaster oven can't fit all the trays. If you are going to be using a bigger oven, you can also bake your tofu at the same time to speed up the process. And then you're going to want to bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 38 minutes, and make sure to flip it halfway through. While nuggets are baking, I am going to cook my rice. This week I decided to use wild rice. You can use any type of grain if you like. And then I'm going to cook it on the stovetop. And while rice is cooking, I am going to cut my tofu in small cubes, and I'm going to season it, and then I am going to air fry it for about 20 minutes. Another thing you could do for this meal prep, you can also bake a squash in the oven at the same time as your nuggets or tofu, or you can also bake your sweet potatoes. It's completely optional. You just want to utilize your time wisely while you are preparing everything in one go. That way your meal prep is not going to take you longer than an hour. I am using very basic spices to season this tofu. That way I can use this in my recipes throughout the week with any other sauces or dressing throughout the week. So that's why I am keeping it super basic and simple. While tofu is air frying, I went ahead and I washed and dried my produce, and then I am going to chop them and keep them in containers. By chopping all these ingredients ahead of time, it makes life so much simpler and easier Monday to Friday. That way, if you are ever in time crunch, you can just quickly put together a meal. And by chopping everything ahead of time, you are less likely to be lazy and prepare a quick meal. And I like to use veggies that are super easy and fast to cook. Zucchini, bell peppers, mushroom, and bok choy, these tend to cook under 10 minutes. So that is what I like to use, but you can definitely choose any other veggies that you like. I personally am not a big fan of broccoli as I tend to get more gassy whenever I eat broccoli, so I try to use other greens throughout the week. And I also keep some baby spinach in the fridge, and I also keep some frozen kale in the freezer and any other vegetables, so that if you ever feel like your veggies are not enough in the week, you can always just reach out to your freezer and access those quick veggies that you can just cook. Once tofu is air fried, you want to store it in a separate container and let it cool down completely before storing it in the fridge. And I do the same thing for my seitan nuggets. I keep them in a separate container and let it fully cool down before storing it in the fridge. And I also went ahead and I prepared my sriracha mayo for the week. Sometimes I also like to make a hummus. That way I have some sort of sauce to go with it. And this meal prep is done, guys. All the veggies are chopped. Our protein is ready for the week, and so is our starch. And now I am going to show you how I put together a meal during the week with my chopped up veggies. This is where it gets exciting. You can use whatever seasoning you like on your veggies when you are sauteing them. That way you are not stuck with just one type of cooking. You can use any type of sauces or seasoning to cook your veggies throughout the week. That way, even though your ingredients are the same, you are using different spices to give it more variety. Here I am just using teriyaki sauce and chili flakes, and I let this cook for about 10 minutes, and that's it. This meal is ready. I just warmed up my rice, and I'm going to add my sauteed veggies with tofu, and I'm going to add some sriracha sauce on top because I like things spicy. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of toasted sesame seeds. This is how I keep my meals simple throughout the week, and I personally enjoy eating this way. This is what helps me stay on track and meet my protein goals. Another beauty of doing this type of a meal prep is that you have an option of using different seasonings throughout the week. That way you are not stuck eating the same food for the entire week. This is what I like to do. Even though my ingredients are the same, I keep things exciting by using different spices. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. I will see you guys very soon on my next one. Bye.